Okay, starting to stream. We're going to follow some high house games here. I'm pretty late in the series. The series is pretty even. It's 12 Teen and Grind Returns, otherwise known as Team Canada, versus Katask and Chicken Cross Road. And the score is currently 7-8. The Chicken Cross Road team has 8. And they're playing at a time control of 2 minutes. Oh, now it's 8 all, so it's totally even. Let's see what happens here. I played Grind a few games earlier tonight when I was on stream, and he was crushing me. So let's see how he does with an even better partner, because before he was partnered to Chewy the Chewer when he was playing my team. I think Grind and 12 Teen, their styles complement each other well. This game goes so fast, it's hard to commentate. Grind and 12 Teen won that, so now the score's now 9-8. And so let's see, it looks like 12 Teen is attacking Katask. He probably wants a few pieces. He might try bishop takes pawn or pawn at g2. So he's going to give up the queen to get some initiative. Grind is defending. I think he's going to need to shed quite a few pieces defending this. That's a really good move. What's he got to do? Maybe, oh yeah, bishop there, that's good. Score's now 9-9. So we see that they're not shy about castling. Because you can be quite safe when you castle if you do it right. Obviously, rook takes pawn here, or maybe just pawn that to get some initiative. So, Katask, I guess he would either like something to attack, because this is kind of hard to defend. Knight in is a threat, rook in is a threat. He's just going to try to deflect the piece. So two knights, so another knight would mate for 12 Teen. But he's not getting that. Does he have all the knights on the board? Yeah, okay, so another knight is definitely not coming. He needs to give a knight up before he'd get one. So Katask is actually relatively safe at this point. And Grind is pretty dead. He cannot survive this. Time is fairly even. So this is going to be a win for Chicken. Yeah, Katask just needed to live there, which was pretty easy to do in that position. So when you give up the f pawn, it does give your rook a nice file here, which 12 Teen is taking advantage of by castling. So Chicken is picking up a piece here. Although that would give the rook file, but these squares are both covered, so he can just keep attacking. I think maybe he wants to take this and then sack the bishop. Obviously knight check. So what would be good for him? I mean, a rook would be good for f2 or h1. What's a good waiting move? I mean, I thought he could play a knight at e3, but this is good too. This bishop defends against this so that there's no like knight mate. Oh no, he has the knight mate. He baited him into taking here. That was a mistake. Yeah, so this, he has to go king up, as if knight takes knight, then there's knight at g2, or sorry, knight at g3. This is going to be a pretty easy win for Chicken. So Katask just needs to live. I don't think that'll be a problem. He needs to live for 1 second. So they pre-move so fast that they hang some pawns a lot of times. 12 team just picked up some pieces. Task is going to win a pawn back, probably with the queen trade. It looks like Chicken has a fairly safe position. Chicken is trying to get an attack here. Oh, that's to be a nice check. Oh, he's doing it that way. I'm not sure why he didn't just like promote with the rook here. Maybe I missed something. So Chicken needs to attack with initiative. If he loses initiative, then Grind is going to get initiative on him. Here, Rook plus Knight mates for Katask. He's not going to wait for it because he's down time. So basically 12-teen is up a knight in the end game and is up 6 seconds. Katask is asking his partner for trades and saying time, basically move faster. So a pawn is good for Katask. So Grind is going to sit. 12-teen says knight, and then he says stall. Chicken says I messed up. So Chicken is down 8 seconds. And he's got to live through this onslaught. He probably has to take this pawn, jettison the queen. And that queen mated his partner. Hey Rosie, now I know how to pronounce your name. I felt really bad when I had no idea what that was. But thank you for clarifying. Yeah, so this is a chess variant called Bughouse that I stream a lot. I'm actually not playing right now, but I'm commentating on some top players. So this is a good move because the queen can cover g2. Here our rook is very good for Katask. The time is fairly even. The diagonal clocks that matter. Hey, Miss Fairy Queen. Miss Fairy Queen, I am in the house party channel. If you want to co-commentate, feel free to jump in. Love to have some co-commentators. Rosie, yeah, chess is a difficult game, so but anyone can learn for sure. And this is not quite chess; it's a variant of chess. It's even more complicated, but it's a lot of fun because it's a team game, whereas chess is usually an individual game. So Chicken is pretty much dead. The score is now 11-11. These are pretty even teams. That's okay, Rosie. So Rosie Simmons, whose name I couldn't pronounce because I didn't know the X's replaced O's, or she streams Fortnite, and I was watching her a few nights ago and earlier tonight. If you like Fortnite, you should check her out. When I'm bored, I browse around Twitch and look for newer, smaller streamers. I find smaller streamers more entertaining than the big streamers where the chat scrolls so fast that you can't tell what anyone's saying. Okay, so 12-teen has got his king in a pickle here. I think Katask is going to win this pretty easily. And I don't think Grind does much of an attack. Grind's king is, I guess, safe, but I mean, he's about to... This is actually a fun move because if bishop takes, then there's bishop at e3, followed by knight at f5. If his partner can get a knight, probably can. For this one. Oh, that's... Oh, wow, that's so close to mate, but not quite there. Has to take that, I guess. And they play just like super fast because in bughouse, which is what this variant is, time is important. And it's the diagonal clocks that matter because it's whether you can wait for your partner to get you more pieces. Oh, a queen trade. That's probably worse for Katask because his king is more vulnerable. I don't think Katask is going to live through this. Yeah, that's mate. Pawn takes, knight takes, checkmate. And the other board has... Yeah, it's over. So he could have gained a pawn, but he wanted to keep his king safer. Who does the queen trade benefit? Because of this, I think the queen trade is going to benefit Katask more. So Grind has tried to stop the queen trade. Grind actually might be able to pick up the queen for free. Why are my headphones running out? I don't understand. I thought I just changed them. Alright, I'm going to have to change my headphones, but it'll just take a minute. Maybe I put the wrong headphones in. So that just... It doesn't matter that much since I'm not actually talking to anyone on the stream. Usually I'm chatting with someone. I changed my headphones like a minute ago, so I must have put the old one back in or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, we're back in business now. Okay, so a queen mates 12-teen. 12-teen is downtime trying to get initiative. I guess with pawn in. Oh, okay, so that was a clever move. It threatened pawn in, but really he took this dangerous pawn in his face. Now he's got to shore up his defenses. So this forces a rook trade, but Grind is on the attack. Oh, this is going to be mate for sure. Okay, task guy's mate. 12-teen says my bad in the chat. If there's any good bughouse players watching, like Miss Fairy Queen or anyone else like that, I am in the house Discord, or I could jump into another Discord. If anyone wants to provide commentary with me. Wow, that was a quick mate. 12-teen made short work of Katask. So sometimes I get engrossed in one board and don't look at the other board. So here I was looking at the left board and didn't even notice what happened on the right board. They traded queens really early on the right. So left board is going to have to deal with a high flow game. They're trying to trade the queens back. And I think that's going to benefit Katask, who seems to be attacking more. Katask was able to pick up a few pieces. He could pick up more pawns, I think. But he's going to chase the queen around first while he has the opportunity. Probably pawn in. Oh, well, okay. So bishop would be good, win the queen, or you could force a queen trade. But meanwhile, wow. Chicken's king is on d5. That king is not long for this world. Let's see. What mates? So honestly, I would have just pushed this pawn on passant, then the bishop in. Okay, the score is now 14 to 13 favor in chicken task. Wow, free queen to try to get some initiative. That would not be worth it to me, but I think they're expecting a lot of trades. This actually forces the queen, because if knight takes, he has knight takes this pawn. So he's going to sack the queen. So what is the purpose of this move? I guess it picks up this knight. Threatens a queen trade. Queen trade good on the other board? I don't think it matters. Okay, so 12 team would like either a knight or a rook. But he's going to keep moving. Try to pick up this knight for free. He's picked up quite a few pieces here. And chicken's king looks a little bit unsafe. I would play maybe bishop at h7. I don't know if that's fast enough, but bishop at h7 looks pretty good to me. Okay, 12 teen's king is in a bad way. The time is fairly even. With just this pawn, okay, so he has to make, okay, so that's pinned, so he can't play knight takes bishop. Well, he has to play maybe either rook at h7, or he could use the rook to attack. A lot of pieces trading. Again, Grind has a very good attack on the right board, but they might not have enough time to do all that. Twelfteen is defending really well. If 12 can win, or sorry, if 12 can live, I really think Grind is going to win eventually. They're up a lot of pieces by this point. We're starting the rook mate, which he stopped that attack. This isn't really much of a threat because knight guards knight, bishop guards the other promotion. Whoa, thanks very much for the raid from Chess Doofus. I really appreciate it. Give him a shout out. Chess Doofus, we were watching some High House Bughouse, and I'm looking for anyone who wants to co-commentate, if anyone wants to jump into the House Party channel. The score right now is, I just have to look because it's behind my webcam. The score is 14 to 13 favor in chicken task. Yeah, I saw you were streaming. Sorry I didn't pop in very much to your chat. I mean, I actually had it on in the background, but I was watching a whole bunch of streams, so never really popped in. 12 is fairly safe. Grind's king is the most vulnerable of them, but without a rook or a queen, I think he's gonna live. The threat now is knight in, which is defended. The king actually has some running room if not many pieces come. But like if it's only a rook, I think he can live through that. Queen mates him, but the queens aren't going to trade. Might see pick up a rook. That's kind of an odd move because there's two queens hanging. You can take that one. That's just a free piece. That was kind of odd. MCJGP, if you ever want to partner at Bughouse, I'm always looking for partners. And Shaq Sum, there is a competitive Bughouse scene, and it's on chess.com. These are some of the best players in the world. Chicken Cross Road and 12 Teen. Most everyone agrees that they're in the top 3 in the world, and Katask has been pretty high on the list of active players. grind is probably the weak link of these four, but he's over 2,500. He's no slouch. He's pretty damn good. Yeah, I did. I so on Wednesday night in my regular stream, Chess Doofus partnered me, and then we waited like 2 hours after that, maybe an hour after that, and then he streamed or he watched my stream, and we tried to find better moves. And we did that for about half of the stream that we did before. The 12T needs to defend against a knight mate, because a new knight at f3 would be very good. So he has to jettison a queen, probably. And yeah, that was fun, and I hope to do more of that in the future. Yeah, I know Jalen Wang. I always call him Yaling because that's how I addressed him for years. Because that's how Combo-Kid referred to him. I've known him since he was like, 13 years old, and he, I knew him as Blitz Bullet. So he was Blitz Bullet on Fix. I played with him over the board at the World Open a few years. We had a big Skype call for years with all the top bughouse players, and he was in that Skype call. So there was a period of time where I talked to him like practically every night, but then he became like a lot less active in that. But yeah, great guy. I think, didn't he recently graduate? Yeah, so Jalen partnered FM Chess Kid like 2 or 3 nights ago, and they were playing on Skype. I was listening to their call. Yeah, he's been focusing on school, but he's still a great player. Okay, so the score is now 16-14 favoring Katas Chicken Cross Road. And let's see, we have a bishop battery on the chicken board. So what are they waiting for? I'm not really sure where they're sitting. Oh, 12 said pawn annoying. Okay, that makes sense. Pawn at e5 would have been annoying. But I didn't think a pawn was coming anyway, so I don't know why there was the sit. So this bishop is sort of out of the action, and 12 is kind of ignoring the bishop while he develops. So rook mates. We might see maybe like knight at f5 could be a fun move. Oh, they're forcing a rook. I'm sorry. But 12 is down time, so he has to find some way to make up time. He could just play knight at and win the queen. That seems like a fine thing to do. Nope, he's going to be more aggressive. Now they're going to do the queen trade probably, unless he can get a rook. Like a rook would be very good for him. He could win the queen for free and then mate, but that seems unlikely. Okay, so this is, the queen is going to mate here. I don't know why he's not playing the queen in. Nice job. And this is one of these rare moments when there's actually 3 bughouse streams going on right now. We have Jarl Carlander Bughouse is also streaming. I think he's playing a game with a bunch of friends from his Discord. And Vampire Slayer is also streaming. And she is playing with Vampire Slayer is partnering Blackcomb, who is an old friend who has bugged with us for many years, but he's very rusty because he hasn't played in a while. So it's good to see him catching up. Trying to beat me in the shoutout race. That's a race you probably could win because I'm very slow, but I won that round. Okay, that knight mates. Doesn't that mate with knight check, rook in? I mean, if it were Grind's move, which it's not. Okay, so the idea is he can't take this because it would be too scary over here. If he had like an extra knight, then knight at f6 would be fun. He needs one more knight though. And Chicken is being very aggressive. Grind is down time. Katask is saying that a knight mates. And the reason is queen takes knight, knight takes knight, knight at f7. 12teen, like 20 seconds later, said, knight mates me. And then he says, play knight at knight c3. And they resign it because of the time. I don't know why people hang this pawn. This seems pretty bad. This pawn isn't really a danger because this is a fine place for the king. I think Chicken's fairly safe there. And now Chicken is able to be quite aggressive. So maybe just pawn in. If he takes with this one, he has bishop check. And then after that, he could... Oh, okay, he's not even waiting for that. He's probably going to jettison the queen. If bishop takes, then there's bishop in, knight takes, pawn there. And now Grind is going to be running for the rest of the game. Chicken says, why resign? We find still. Yeah, honestly, I wasn't watching what happened on the other board. Yeah, MC, they play very fast. I mean, it's partly because time is such an important part of the game. Is when you're up time, you can sit for pieces you want, and your opponents can't sit for pieces they want, which is a huge advantage. But in addition, it's because they've played so many games that they know these opening lines pretty cold, and they can also anticipate moves pretty well. So that makes them able to move faster. But I wouldn't recommend that a newer player try to play as fast as they are. It's a much better idea to move as fast as you're comfortable with, fast as you can make like decent moves. Like there's some players who try to learn the game by just pre-moving every move, going as fast as possible, and that's not really a good way to learn the game. Okay, 12teen is not going to live very long here. He's at the very least losing the queen, but probably losing the king. I think this mates, doesn't it? Here and then queen here. So that's mate in one for Katask. Sorry, yeah, mate in one for Katask. So Chicken has like 8 seconds to mate. And he can win a queen, but he's not going to mate with the material he has. He's trying his best, but like he's down like 4 pieces. Like look at this, 1, 2. That's 1, 2. Okay, he's down 3 pieces and like 5 pawns. That's a tough road there. The score is now 18-16, favoring Chicken and Katask. This is an interesting structure with the bishop garden. It's better to have the bishop there than a rook in this situation. The weak squares are the dark squares. It's weird he just hung the piece there. So he's going for this sort of thing. Interesting way of attacking. I think Grind is going to have to jettison this queen. Like, how else does he hold that? I don't think that a queen mates or anything, but trying to hold up time a little bit. Wow, he sacked for the knight. What a move. That knight mated. That was some great communication right there. So on the first move, Katask is famine, trades. Really wants some trades. So we see a lot of times they don't immediately take a piece. They try to pile up more pieces on a weakness and then trade later. They want to keep the tension and increase the tension rather than relieving the tension. Katask trying to force a queen trade. Now a queen mates him and a rook is very scary. Now a knight would be scary. It's very hard for Katask to hold this position together without more trades, because 12-team has a lot of stuff in his hand. Katask is saying in the chat, sorry, I'm not 12-team. And he's saying, I can't do the 12-team style. MC says, how do I feel about Jo Jorgensen? I mean, I'm going to vote for the Libertarian candidate. I have an interview with her from, like 3 weeks ago. And I think she's a pretty good candidate, and I'll be happy to vote for her. Moving pawns forward in general is kind of bad. I don't know, it depends on the position. When you move pawns forward, you definitely create some weaknesses, but you can also help attack, so I don't know. Pawns are tough because they can't move backwards, so once they're forward, they're forward. Yeah, this is impossible for Katask to defend. Although somehow he's not mated yet. Grind is starting to get an attack. Now a rook would be very good for Grind. I'm going to use the queen for now. Can he get away with that? I don't think so. This looks really, yeah, there's no way he can live through this. Grind is dead for sure. Katask was also dead. The score is now 18-18, so we're all tied up. Yeah, that's true, MC. You can replace the squares left behind with new pawns, but I mean, you don't always have pawns in your hand, and it does burn a move, so just have to be careful. But the best way to pick up these concepts is by playing. So if you ever want to play, let me know. This is an easy win for Chicken. Just move the knight away. The bishop takes anything put in the way. kind of weird on chess.com when you follow someone, it doesn't put it the same place. So sometimes we're watching 12 on the left, sometimes we're watching chicken, sometimes get task. A little bit annoying. Yeah, MC for sure. So I stream on Wednesday and Friday nights on Chess TV, and I'm always looking for bughouse partners for my scheduled streams. I also stream some late nights whenever I'm available and nothing else is going on. And in all cases, I'm looking for partners. And it doesn't matter the level of the partner. It just matters if you can be on voice chat so we can communicate with each other. There was a controversy in the Twitch world because they created like a health and safety committee made up of Twitch users, I guess, yeah, or streamers, and it included someone who had these really controversial opinions. And one of her controversial opinions was that games should get rid of voice communication because voice communication is used to bully women, and therefore all voice communication must be bad. And I think I don't agree with that take, and I think that getting rid of voice communication, prohibiting it, would be terrible for a game like Bughouse. It's so essential to the game. So we see here that the advanced pawns are very good. They drop pawns on the second rank so they can promote very quickly. That's pretty devastating. The extra queen. Looks like another queen is coming. So black is going to play queen here and then pawn here mates. Or knight here. Or what else could he do? I think that's the main idea. I wonder if this is a first move might work. Knight check, pawn takes, queen in. Okay, so because he's just moving his king. Interesting. I guess he feels really safe. The task wants the queen now. That's not... Oh, okay. That's really close. Well, that's its mate. That's an easy mate. 12 was really playing with fire, walking his king up here. But I guess it worked out for him. Yeah, the interaction with your teammate is like one of the most fun parts of Bughouse, for sure. Yeah, but the take of this health and safety person was more about first-person shooter games. Like, I guess Counter-Strike is a very toxic game, or Fortnite, or things like that. But I just thought I'd mention how important... Well, here we can... That's a little weird. I guess he just wanted to get more pieces on the board. But yeah, voice communication is a huge part of this game. Again, this is an okay move to protect this and attack this. I'm sure Grind sees, but maybe he sees something I don't see. Why it's bad somehow. I guess he just wanted to attack. Interesting. He's trading off the queen. Does it mate? Oh, interesting. I thought he would take the rook. Oh, I guess that was with check, was it? Okay. We took this because it was with check. Now he can take the rook. Very clever. So grind is down about 8 seconds, maybe 7 seconds. He trades the queens off. Yeah, he's trading the queens off. He was waiting to do it because he didn't want the test to have initiative. So this queen is sort of out of the action. This rook might be able to get back into action at some point. Okay. So knight here is going to mate after knight takes. I guess rook here also mates. So there's two different mates. Rook at c4, knight at e2. Are there other mates? I guess knight at e4 is a mate. In the meantime, grind needs to last for 2 more seconds. Yeah, no, I agree, MC. Nice tactic to win the rook on the 12 team board. And that queen is gonna move around winning pieces. You might see knight at f1 maybe? Yeah. King takes. Keeping up the pressure. Knight check. That surprises me. I think knight check. Or, oh, wait. Oh, the bishop covered. I understand now. I'm an idiot. Did not see the bishop covered. But he didn't realize he had the rook because he got it right after his move. The rook would have mated. So chicken has to watch his dark squares. We're going to attack on h6. Guy 12 teen has got a little bit unsafe, but he's still doing good on time. 12 teen can't castle, can he? He's moved his king a bunch. I think he has. Yeah, he's been checked for sure. There's some fun moves over here. If he had a knight, like rook at e8 followed by knight check would be kind of fun. What else could he do? Pawn at e7 looks fun. See, this isn't really a real threat. This isn't a real threat. I guess this is a real threat. Okay, so he has to watch out for the queen. So I guess he needs to do something about this knight here. Honestly, sacking the queen, not that bad of an idea. If knight takes, then it blocks in the king. If king takes, he can start checking. Seems okay too. Seems like 12 team's just playing for time. Oh, wow. Okay. Grind is mated. So 12 team, like he shed this pawn, but the action is really over here. I think protecting this is the most important thing. There we go. Now suddenly 12 team seems safe. With a safe king, he can start attacking. Grind is in a bit of trouble. Grind would like to have a rook or a queen or a knight to get an attack going. He doesn't get an attack going. Maybe he could castle. Oh, okay. So there are fancy mates for Katas, but he would need more pieces. Knight plus rook would be good. Now a knight would be good for him. He no longer has that position. Doesn't have the attack. Grind is getting attacked pretty hard. I don't think he can live through this. Can he get away with knight ticks? I think he can as long as they're up time. As long as he sits so that grind doesn't get a knight or a rook. Yeah, so chicken looks very safe and he's going to attack for the rest of the game. That's going to be game over. 12 says, my bad. The score now is 21-20, favoring Chicken Katas. These are surprisingly very even teams. They keep getting friend requests. I don't know who you are, Bughouse Master Zero, so I decline. Oh, 12 in a bad way over here. Pawn mates him. Pawn check, king over, knight in. Would have been mate. Surprised he gave up the queen there, but I guess he's just going for attack. Rook is very good. Gonna keep attacking. Katas just doesn't stop attacking. What is grind waiting for? Willing to give up the queen to get an attack. Probably a maiden attack actually, so it's not like a bad idea. I think he has to play bishop takes and then stick something in here. Oh, he's going for mate over here. Knight in. So what's his plan? After this, he seems fine. I don't see what the continuation is. Unless he's going to play like bishop at. I guess he could play bishop at, bishop takes, queen takes, rook in, bishop at, pawn in. Okay, he does have mate. He has mate, but he has to jettison a lot of pieces, and I don't think he can afford to lose that many pieces. So he's not playing the maiden attack. I'm sure Chicken saw the mate, but realized that he couldn't do it fast enough. He's trying to win the queen back here. The score is now 21 all, yet again. Is Bughouse Master Trumpet X? I don't know, maybe. So Trumpet X is Bughouse Master on Chess and like a few other servers like that. I don't know if he's Bughouse Master Zero on chess.com or if that's someone else. Are they playing a set number of games? I don't know. In general, they'll just play for hours until one of them has to go. And then they will say good games and they'll stop. This is a pretty good attack for the task. I guess he needs, well, a knight would be very helpful to him. I feel like Katas got the better end of all those trades. Task keeps promoting pawns. Chicken is on the attack. Yeah, I mean, there's just so many pieces won. That was a win for Chicken Task. Twelfteen is really letting him in here with these pre-moves. I don't think that's a good idea for 12. This is just such an unsafe king. They had knight their mates, so they just resigned it. I think 12 needs to be a little more careful with his pre-moves. Task has won a bunch of material. So 12 would like a knight and pawn for knight at f3, followed by pawn check. Knight takes rook with initiative. But he has downtime. Now he's asking for a bishop for f8. If he doesn't get a bishop, then this is a very scary promotion. He got the bishop. It's still pretty scary. So on this board, both chicken and grind seem fairly safe. But I think they're basically trying to feed. As whoever gets feed at the right time on the Catast 12 board is going to win. This is so close to mate. Maybe this? Isn't this just mate? So in the game chat, the observers are talking about Bughouse Master. Did he get on the leaderboard? Let me check. I'm gonna go check the Bughouse leaderboard really quick to see if he got his rating real high somehow. Oh yeah, he got a rating to 3,000. Let's see if he cheated. It's hard to see who his partner is. So I don't know. Okay, so in this game, okay, that game's over already. The score is now 24-22, favoring Chicken and Katask. He's got to do something about this pawn. He can win the knight if he wants, and instead he's going to go for an attack. Oh yeah, he could just take the knight for free. That's a better way of doing it. So I wonder if he'll do this sack. He is going to do it. And then stick a pawn in there. Oh, pawn this way to block the queen in. This is going to lead to mate for sure. Rook in mates. This mates too. There were a lot of different mates. Wow, and there was mate on the other board faster. The time was real close there. MC, the usual way that people cheat at Bughouse, and I don't have any evidence that Bughouse Master cheated this way, but like even without evidence, I would put money that this happened. basically what they'll do is they'll have a very low rated partner, um, who usually is either them Simulin or it's a established bughouse player that creates a duplicate account, or it's a player that's never played on chess.com any before who's really good, and their partner will have a very low rating. Like they'll have a partner who will sandbag a bunch of games and start out with a rating of like 700. And if that 700 rated partner is really like a 2000 strength, then that's an upside potential of like 1300 points. So they can partner them and have that sort of upside potential over their actual strength. And it happens a lot. Oh, Miss Fairy Queen is saying dummy accounts. Yeah, so sometimes people will play against dummy accounts also, where the opponents will be dummy accounts too, in addition to the partner. Um, I looked briefly at Bughouse Masters game history, and I'm not sure. Oh wait, never mind. I do see some boost in there. Okay, yeah. That's Miss Fairy Queen is right that there was some boost in against opponents too. Um, it looks like uh, when their opponents' accounts were also created like 2 days ago, and the opponents have like a 2700 rating, and there's someone we've never heard of, then yeah, that's the case of the opponents being dummy accounts that were boosted. Interesting position. It looks like, oh, I would have played rook takes bishop and then take this. I think that might have been better, but maybe this still works. I really feel like Katas missed a mate here, but maybe he still has a mate that I don't see. Yeah, I don't know why anyone cares that much about rating that they cheat like that, but some people do. So I don't know if that was actually Trumpet X. Doesn't really seem like his style, but maybe it is. I don't know. He is certainly someone who cares a lot about his rating. Honestly, the person who does the boost stint the most is Guilty King, who maybe like every 6 months or so will boost someone new to like 3000 with like a bunch of dummy accounts. So right now, this Bughouse Master Zero guy is at the top of the Bughouse leaderboard. Fairy Queen saying Lix does it too. Yeah, I'm not sure who Lix is off the top of my head, but I'm not disputing what you say. I'm just not familiar. I guess I should report a bunch of these people. He's like 2400 strength. Okay. So it seems like all of this, most of this happened on, what was it, June 9th or more? How do I see? Oh, never mind. I understand now. I can go further back in history. Okay, don't want to miss out too much on these games though. We're at 26 to 24, Favor and Chicken Katas, so they've maintained their 2-game lead. Yeah, I don't like why. So he was protecting against knight at d2. Chicken gonna try to get some initiative. He wants a knight. He's got a knight, and he has mate. Pawn takes, pawn, pawn, that's mate. So the question is, can his partner live? The answer is no. This is gonna be mate. Or here. I mean to D, yeah. So 12-teen is continuing his attack. 12-teen would like pieces, but he's going to move without pieces. A little surprised by that move, but I guess it works. 12-teen is going to continue attacking. Just going to try to pick up this knight. Looks like a rook is coming for 12-teen. This isn't that scary move because the bishop and the rook both cover here. Grind is taking the queen. Getting a little greedy maybe. I think he's fine. He's gonna have to maybe drop the queen in unless he can get another blocker. He could wait for another blocker. He doesn't want to give the queen. Wait for bishop or rook or knight here. Knight here doesn't mate because the bishop covers. And grind seems fairly safe. He's threatening knight takes rook, which would vacate the square for a pawn, and also threaten rook at d8. Thanks very much for the follow from Courslack. I really appreciate it. For anyone not aware, we are watching a bughouse, which is a chess variant. I put the rules in the chat there. I am not playing right now. I am watching. I think knight takes is... Oh, wait. So here the threat is knight at. So I'm going to have to do something about that. Yeah, he's going to try to do this with initiative. So I guess he takes here, new knight in. Knight takes. Okay, so chicken doesn't have a knight to drop. He would like a knight. Use the pawn. Hustling works. Whoa, that had to be a mouse slip. I think grind mouse slipped. How can I focus on two games? Well, in Bughouse, this is kind of the same game. They're united, but I've been playing this for many years, and yeah, it takes a while to be able to look at both boards. Usually, when you start out, you sort of focus on your own board and rarely look at the other board. One thing that helped me develop a better vision for both boards was I simuled a lot, which means I play both boards. And when you play simul bughouse, you need to watch both boards, obviously, so that helps develop the vision. Bughouse Master wants to be friends. You've declined Bughouse Master's friend request. The chicken would like a knight, I guess. Even rook at g7 would be good. Oh, his partner was mated. Yeah, there I got too wrapped up in one of the boards. Simulin? Yeah, I mean, Bughouse is interesting because there's not as much difference as you would think. So this picks up the queen between the slow and the fast time controls because it's really the diagonal clocks that matter. But still, yeah, you should, like, I would be much worse at 1 minute Simulin than at 3 minute or 5 minute Simulin for sure. 12-teen keeping up the pressure. He's up time. If he just had his partner sit, then be okay. What is going on? Incoming friend request. Oh, who's this guy? Okay. Don't know. That king really went on a run. So their ratings are staying relatively stable. Okay, whoever Professor is, you can say hi in the chat. Oh, he's picking up the queen, which is going to help the task, but I think he should have taken that first and then moved the knight. Better with initiative. 12-teen is going to be able to defend here. That's a... Ooh, interesting. I thought after that he would play like queen in or something like that, and just to get initiative, or rook in. He clearly has mate here. So if he takes, he's mated, so he can't take, he has to move over. If he moves over, maybe bishop takes bishop and go for a run. I don't know. Honestly, I think maybe he should have... Should you play bishop at b3 first or something like that? I'm not sure. So what is going on the other board? There's a rook trade being threatened. I'm not sure why that rook trade matters. And why doesn't Grind want to step over? Yeah, so it happened as I thought. I think chicken is safe. You really should have put a queen in here to make some threats. The bishop was not threatening enough. Oh, it's Korslak. Hey, Korslak. So Korslak, do you play Bughouse? And if so, do you have like a chess.com handle? There are some Discord servers where there's people who play Bughouse. The one I'd recommend the most is the House Discord server. And there's a lot of people on there who play different variants, especially Bughouse and Crazy House, but also Anti-Chess, Atomic, and some other things like that. So you can join that if you want to network with other players. So knight's very good for chicken, and there it is. I would just take the bishop, maybe this way, instead of taking the queen. He's bringing his pieces nearer to the king. Maybe this, or even this. A lot of options. Not one of the options I saw, but still good, I guess. You could take this and try to win the bishop instead. That vacates the place for the knight. The chicken is just dominating this game. I think you can knight check, then pawn takes. Even this is good, followed by knight in. Oh, he's forcing a queen trade. This is for safety's sake. Oh, and now the queen mates. That's clever. Play chess. Bughouse is hard for you. It just takes practice. You can play on chess.com and you just open a play tab and you pick Bughouse as the variant. Make sure the time is 0 and the time is 3 and the increment is 0 because that's what everybody plays. And it will auto pair you with a partner, auto pair you with opponents. So it's a lot of fun. And you can find manual partners also. You can find it on that Discord. There's also all you need is bug is spectating, and Miss Fairy Queen says that's 11 from the old fix. That's cool. So yeah, I mean you can find manual partners too. There's also bughouse tournaments, which are 4 times a day. Every day there's a bughouse tournament, and the times are listed in the bughouse club. Let me get you all a link to the club in case you want to join it. So there's a club on chess.com that's the Bughouse Club. And if you join it, at the very top, it lists times that the tournaments are every day. There's a link to the Bughouse leaderboard. And near the bottom of the thing at the top is a bunch of guides for, I'm sorry. A bunch of guides for, now I'm not 2700 core blah. We are spectating a match. I'm not playing this match. But there's a bunch of guides for how to improve at Bughouse. One by Chicken Cross Road, who's one of the players here. One by Raise for Info. And there's some blogs from Jarl, Horsey, and Minigreat. All on Bughouse, mainly the openings. So a few pawns would be very good for him. Let's see what the time's like. He's down 1 second. Maybe he'll take this. That's a very weird move. Okay, so he's going to try to develop his queen, I guess. And still keep the threats open. Knight would be good for him. There's the knight. So yeah, we're watching some of the best players in the world play. 12 and Chicken Cross Road are some of the best in the world. Chicken Cross Road is Dan Yeager. 12 is Janek Awatamali, or I can't even pronounce his last name. We don't know who Katask is, but Katask is very good. Katask just came in the scene like a year ago, but 12 and Chicken have been playing for years. E4, knight f6, e5, e5. I don't know. You're making me do things in my head. If Miss Fairy Queen is here, then she would be a better one to tell you about that opening. Maybe she can comment in the chat. Ryan seems to have a bunch of initiative. Oh, but his initiative is disappearing. Okay, so this is a scary square right now. Grind needs to do something with initiative, and it's kind of hard for him to do that. I don't think he can get away with that. No. Queen in. Miss Fairy Queen says it's a good line for black, and I would trust her on that. She knows a lot more about bughouse openings than I do. I just sort of play by intuition because I've played so many years that sort of developed openings. So in Bughouse, the generally accepted piece values are that a queen is 4, other pieces than the queen are 2, so a bishop, a knight, and a rook are all 2, and a pawn is 1. Meaning 2 pieces for a queen is an even trade, and 2 pawns for a piece is an even trade. What that also means is knights are worth the same as bishops. There's some disagreement about that, but it's approximately true. A lot of beginners think knights are very powerful because they can come in from nowhere and you can't block the checks. But bishops are good in a different way. Bishops are good at attacking and defending at the same time. Often you will drop a bishop on the A file or the H file. So on A4, A5, H4, or H5, where you will check the opponent's king, and at the same time you will guard a weak square in your development. And after you make that move, guard in the square, you can do something else to make another developing or attacking move. So bishops are especially good for that dual purpose of attacking and defending. The chicken has a lot of initiative here. And chicken also has a very safe king. Maybe this? I don't know. I mean, a rook is really good. Yeah, he saw that move. Yeah, that knight's mate. Yeah, Corpa, we can partner at some time. You can watch my streams. You can ask questions. Yeah, if you trade a knight for a pawn, like you're not down 2 pawns. Really, you're just down 1 pawn because of the piece value. Still, I don't personally think that sack is a good one. I hate sacking in general. I always like to be ahead on pieces. I like to win pieces rather than losing them. But there's a lot of people who play that line. There's a lot of people that will sack a knight to get their king safer or to get better developed, etc. So it's not something that I do, but by popular opinion, it's a decent line. And then we see here that check got to pick up a piece. You might see a queen drop here, because after the trade he can promote. He wants a bishop, obviously, but in the absence of a bishop, that could be good. So, can he get the bishop? They are up time. He's attacking 2 bishops. So I think Chicken's going to get the bishop and it's going to go on e1. And with that bishop, if not rook takes, then the bishop can take the queen, can pick up a queen. And can also chase the king around a little bit. Because if king over here, then knight here is good also. So what does he do if king up? If king up, I don't see a great knight move, so I think just bishop takes queen. That vacates the square for knight at e1. But he really wants bishop at e1. Chicken's king is relatively safe. Even if it were Grind's move, he could push that way. He still wants the bishop. There it is. Oh, I'm surprised he didn't take the queen. Guess he's just going for time here. 12 is flagged. Oops. There we go. That makes sense, Miss Fairy Queen. Yeah, I play e4, e5 myself just because as black, I like being able to have a counterattack. Whereas there's some lines where people play like defensive all game and they're never able to get an attack. I want to have winning chances on my board too, not just on my partner's board. So 12-teen getting attacked pretty hard here. Not even capturing the rook because he wants to get his king safe first. Task continuing with the attack. Grind seems to have a reasonably safe king here, but so does chicken. I was going to say 12-teen had the least safe king, but 12-teen has managed to get to safety while I was looking at the grind board. So I guess the worry is this. He's probably not going to take the rook. Maybe he'll take the bishop and then put a bishop or pawn in. He would like chicken to move, because if it were grind's move, a rook would be very good for grind. Gonna probably pin this, threaten stuff. No, he's not. I guess he's worried about giving his queen. This is a threat because of a knight in. So now Katask wants a knight. I guess he still has bishop takes, so or knight takes. Maybe it's not quite mate. Maybe pawn takes first. Yeah, and now probably a knight in. And knight takes rook. Oh, grind is just dead. Grind is downtime. There's not really a way to defend that rook. He's gonna have to go for a little run, I think. And it's gonna be a very little run because he's gonna get mated real quick. Grind would like to take the e3 pawn and take it off the board that his bishop defends. Maybe he could get away with that in over the board. What you try to do, over the board technique, is in this situation, if you're playing over the board, in Grind's position, he would look really intently at the 12-teen board, hoping that chicken looks intently in that board too. And while they're both looking at that board, he picks up the e3 pawn and he throws it somewhere else. And then when they look back at this board, he moves. Then chicken plays queen takes rook, and Grind takes it with his bishop. Korblaw's laughing because he does that in chess. So I've seen some classic Korblaw moves like that. So I was watching Korblaw play at the World Open. This was during, it was a series where he was giving his opponent odds. It was 15 seconds to 3 minutes. Korblaw had 15 seconds, and Korblaw kept like knocking over all the pieces and setting them up on his opponent's time and saying, I'm sorry, and setting it up as his opponent's time burned down. There were many games where somehow he got 2 light squared bishops or 2 dark squared bishops, and it was not through promotion. Definitely not through promotion. And at one point, his opponent finally called him on it and was like, illegal move. And then they started arguing. And then finally, like, they both looked over at me because I was observing the game, and they were like, was that a legal move? and I didn't really want to get in the middle of it. I didn't know Jonathan too well at this point, so I didn't want to like cause a fight or anything. I knew it was a money game, so I was like, it's not my place. I don't want to say. And they're like, no, tell us. And then I was like, I think there's been at least 10 illegal moves this game. And then Korblaw like looked like at first he looked like a little bit angry, and then he just like burst out laughing, and he was like, okay, you win this game. And then they moved on to the next one. Yeah, he's a beast at speed for sure. So the score right now is 35 to 29, favoring Chicken Crossroad and Katask. I'll always appeal to the audience. Yeah. I mean, if you're wrong anyway, what do you have to lose? So rook mates for grind, but he is down time, so he's not going to get the rook. He might just take the queen. And maybe knight e3 for grind to vacate the square, and then pawn check or something like that. I don't know. It's probably easier for him to attack and defend. Maybe he could play king takes knight here. That's another option. King takes knight, pawn takes bishop, knight takes, bishop takes. I don't know. It's a dicey game for sure. Actually, after pawn takes, bishop takes, new knight at f7, and grind would be safe. It might be safe this way too. So, Chicken wants a pawn because he wants to promote the pawn, I think. Oh, maybe not. Oh, this is... Oh, I would have gone the other direction, but I guess this works too. Yeah, Chicken has initiative for the rest of the game. So Katask knows that all he has to do is just not move or maybe make up a little time. MC says they were playing in voice. Oh, yeah. So Katask is always very reluctant to go in a voice call. I don't know if anyone's ever heard his voice because he doesn't want to dox himself. I don't think he wants people to know who he is. We don't really talk about who Katask is. But sometimes he'll get in a call and he'll just listen and he'll let Chicken do the coordination. Yeah, it's much easier to coordinate when you're in a voice call for sure. It's weird though. There's some old school fixed players who don't like voice calls and prefer the buttons. Chicken is one player who generally prefers the buttons to a voice call. The Chicken would like a knight or a queen. A good move to keep the initiative up. I'm going to win a queen. The task really just needs to live here. So queen f8 is one way of defending the sack. The queen defends all these scary squares. There's been a lot of trades. Chicken and grind need to find ways to get in there. Probably to sack at some point. At some point we might see knight takes pawn. Oh, there it is. I don't like knight here. I don't understand that. I guess that was a pre-move. That's a free rook. Pawn check is good. Or no, it's not good because he can't take back. He's got to deal with this problem first. And the problem here is he hasn't got his bishop out. Trying to get more pieces on the board to defend these squares. I don't think he has time for this. That's, you can't take that. That's going to be a loss for him. Queen at, pawn at is just a win. This is a win too. Queen at here is a win. Queen at g3 is mate in 2 if he goes back there, so you can pre-move it. Katask is a machine at feeding pieces. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've noticed that too, Miss Fairy Queen. He doesn't like sitting for pieces in general, and I'm that way too. So I definitely respect Katask's game. Katask is gonna probably win this piece at some point. He waited and didn't win the piece. That was a little odd. Oh, he's gonna win this rook instead. Vacate and square for a knight. I think he played queen takes a phantom piece, didn't he? Which is turned out to be a bad pre-move. The knight moved away, and then the queen moved where the knight was. 12-10 exact opposite. Once pieces try to mate. Yeah, that makes sense. 12-10 definitely loves attacking. Yeah, that's why 12-10 partnered with Katask is great combination. So what's the time like? Can Grind just sit? Oh, Grind's dead. that's the problem. There isn't a way for Grind to live through this. I mean, Grind would like to play like f3 and march his king, but a knight's gonna come for h3. I mean, we're probably gonna see this or bishop at check to deflect the bishop to try to not give the knight, so that Grind can try to walk his king. I don't think his king is long for the world anyway. What? I did not expect that at all. Like the voice call switch has really helped them. Yet the score has been changing. So before we had like an even match basically, and now the score is 40-30, favoring Chicken Crusher and Katask. And like a few games ago, we saw 12-10 at like 29-60 something, and now he's at 29-09. Yeah, that's true too, Miss Fairy Queen. Chicken, what she's referring to is Chicken is very good at just adjusting to his partner's style. So often Chicken will do not as good in the earlier matches of the series, but as the series goes on, his score will get better and better because he will get used to his partner's style and figure out, oh, bishop just mates. Yeah, I mean, he needed one more pawn, but still, he won a ton of pieces with that. Oh, and this looks pretty good for Chicken. Chicken takes and then drops pawns in. Oh, okay, he's gonna win the queen. Okay, I guess he wants this. Yeah, so Chicken adjusts to figure out what his partner's openings are, what pieces his partner wants when in the game. Should Chicken be attacking or defending? How fast should he be going? he has a very adjustable game. Whereas there's a lot of players who don't have like different modes. There's some players who would just always attack, attack, attack. Um, there's some players who are just like always feeders, but Chicken has a lot of modes. Yeah, that's true. He's also adjusting to his opponent. And I do think that Grind, as good as Grind is, he is the weak link among these four players. So I think Grind has more things that can be exploited than the other players do. And Chicken is picking up on some of that. Don't get me wrong, Grind is much better than me at this game, but all I'm saying is he's not as good as Chicken and 12 and Katask. Is Fair Queen saying Chicken has used at least 10 different openings? Interesting. Yeah, I mean, he's adjusting his openings to his opponent and to what his partner wants. The other thing Chicken is good at doing is feeling out when his opponent pre-moves, and he'll stick in a random pawn move every now and then to like pick up a queen for free when his opponent pre-moves something on the other side of the board. Yeah, time scrambles he's very good at too. Takes pawn, is that good? Ooh, I think he should have dropped the pawn there. It might have been a mistake. Okay, a few pawns mates. Ooh. Chicken has... I'm sorry, 12 has missed quite a few mates there. Interesting game. The score now is 43-30, favoring Chicken Katask. Yeah, that's true, Corbla. Yeah, so Chicken innovated this really weird opening trick. So in chess, a lot of people know about the Lafong, and the Lafong is something played by Lafong Hua, who is the magnet, um, and he streams sometimes with the chess bras. And what the magnet would do is he would be playing bullet games, and very early in the opening, against people who fianchetto their bishop, he would play like bishop h6. His opponents would fianchetto, and then he would just capture the bishop. I mean, his bishop was hanging. Like they could have taken his bishop for free, but he exploits a pre-move by playing bishop h6 and then taking it, and that's known as the Lafong. And you'll see streamers sometimes they'll say like I'm going to Lafong him, and that means they're going to like hang their bishop and take a fianchetto bishop. The equivalent type of thing in Bughouse is an innovation by Chicken Cross Road, and this was like as of like 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. It's like a long time thing, and the basic idea is as black, your white would have an opening where he would play basically like e3, and then he'd like develop like a knight or something, like a knight one of these places, and black as his first or second move would put a new pawn on e2, which again the pawn can be taken for free by the queen, by the bishop, the knight, the king. Like every piece can take that pawn, but because white would pre-move their next move, black would just take the queen for free, promote, and the king would take it. And it's a great thing for two reasons. As Miss Fairy Queen said, um, it's it's good. It's good not only because you pick up a queen, it's also good because you force your opponent to move slower in subsequent games because they're afraid of that happening. And Chicken, he innovated this, but like a lot of people play it now, especially at the top level. Yeah, he tilts everyone like that. They've never caught me because I never pre-move, but but most people do pre-move. Right. It's a very low risk trick. If it doesn't work out, the worst you lose one pawn. Yeah, I thought we'd see knight takes there. So maybe take this to vacate the square for diagonals. Let's see what's happening on the 12-team board. There's a queen trade offered, but 12-team is afraid that his partner's king looks more vulnerable. Still trying to force the queen trade, and the queen trade happened. This is interesting. If he takes this, he has knight check, queen in. That's the plan. And it still works with not taking it. The queen in, rook takes, that's mate. Rook takes, rook takes. So 12-team needs to make up. Wait, what? Oh, he did a different checkmate, but I guess that mate works too. What's the Corblaw stalemate? So Corblaw did a stream a couple nights ago where he looked through his stalemates. Yeah, you gotta follow Corblaw to see the Corblaw stalemates, but I'll tell you a little bit of the background. First, let me give him a shout out. So basically, like there's a lot of people who will save their games from some chess servers to analyze them. Yeah, he just started streaming like this week, and like a lot of people will save their wins because they're proud of them, or they might save their games versus like famous players or something like that. What Corblaw does instead is he saves his draws. So he saves every stalemate he has. And he's been playing not just on chess.com or Lichess, but he played on ICC for many years. So he has literally thousands of draws, thousands of stalemates that he's saved that he can look over later. And basically, he did a stream earlier where he showed us some of his stalemate and techniques, and it was pretty funny to watch. Oh, and by the way, Miss Fairy Queen, this is the guy who I said Corblaw's the guy who plays trivia, so you should hop on his stream and play trivia with him at some point. So Corblaw, Miss Fairy Queen, and also grind on my grind returns. Who's on the left board here at the top. They both like to play trivia in the Discord server, so they could be interesting competition for you. It's Fairy Queen saying before Grind was on voice and 12-team was muted and using buttons. Oh, did 12-team, did he turn on his sound? Yeah, I think they're all getting serious about this. So this knight is 12-team's best piece. He's not gonna, okay. But yeah, the queen made it on the other board. So thanks very much to Corblaw for gifting the sub to MCJGP. Really appreciate it. The score right now is 48-31. So like a while ago, the score was pretty even. More recently, the score was like 40-30, and Katask and Chicken are really pulling ahead. The time is pretty even. Grind would like to get a blocker. He doesn't want to just move his king here. If he moves his king up, then there would be a sack followed by bishop in. You're going to see bishop takes. Maybe queen takes rook. Knight check if he takes the pawn. Rook check. Or maybe bishop takes pawn. Okay, bishop takes pawn. What could we see here? Maybe new knight in? Or, I mean, he has so many good moves. Basically, a chicken is never going to lose a piece, and he's going to be attacking all game. And he could always get a queen if he ever wants to. Oh, he sacked a pawn. I don't know why he did that. He honestly, he could win without ever sacking a piece. Grind is on the run. Grind is up 3 seconds, though. Question is, can his partner win in that time? 12th also has 2 pawns, which he's saving to promote. Grind is now down, maybe half a second. 12th does not have to move anymore. The score is now 49 to 31. Yeah, MC, that is the core blah. I think Corblaw has documentation that he played that long before Rosen did. So yeah, Corblaw, those are the generally accepted piece values. Some people have differences of opinion. There are some players, I disagree with this, but Gildy King, for example, and True Player would say that pieces are 2, pawns are 1, and a queen is -3. So you need to sack it as soon as possible. What is Corblaw's chess rating? I mean, are you talking USCF or chess.com or what? I don't know. He can answer for you. I mean, I was watching his stream where he was like, he started off like 2400 on chess.com. So this is going to be mate for grind. But there was mate earlier on the other board. So Corblaw was mostly a blitz hustler, but he has moved on mostly to other things than chess, such as trivia. I think it would be fun to see that. So Corblaw was talking about on his stream earlier about. Let me back up. There's a streamer named Jennifer Shihade, who's, I think she's like a WFM or WGM or something like that, and she streams chess and poker at the same time. So she'll have like a poker board on the right and a chess board on the left, and she'll be playing both at the same time. What Corblaw aspires to do is do the same thing with chess and trivia, where he's playing like chess on one side and trivia on the other side and doing them at the same time. So I think it'd be interesting if he did that versus the same opponent, which could be, I think with Grind or Miss Fairy Queen, or there's some other people I know. I messaged my friend Nicholas Carras, NJS King from Fix, who he participates a lot in Quiz Bowl, so I think he would be interested in that sort of thing too. All strong chess players and like trivia. So Slight comeback. The score is now 49-33, favoring Chicken and Katask. They traded the queens. Oh, that's threatening. That's a big threat. I think that was definitely a mistake from Katask. 12 should be able to mate pretty easily here. So Katask is down a lot of time. If you were up time, you could get like 2 knights in mate. Downtime, 12 has already defended himself. Well, now he's undefended himself, but he still has a pretty good position. I don't know why 12 is taking these risks. He could just have grind sit and he could win pretty easily. Chicken says last 2 I sleep. We're going to have 2 more games and they're going to call it. Oh my god, he hung the bishop. So this board, they both look fairly safe. And it looks like Katask has the least safe king. That was a... Seen some bad free moves here. We see 3 pieces to 3 pieces. Like, the material is pretty even. Chicken's king is getting attacked. Grind's king is very safe. And 12 seems to have more initiative. 12 is trying to take some free pieces along the way. Gotta be worried about pawnette. Katask isn't even waiting for these things. So now, like, knight's mate, like a rook would mate, rook plus pawn. But he's just going to defend because he was down time. Task is now down like 5 seconds. I don't think he can live through this onslaught. Yeah, that's resignable. There's the resignation. What does 12 do? I'm not sure what you mean by do. So 12 is a student, if that's what you mean. He's a national master from Canada. I think he's majoring in like engineering or something like that. It might be physics. I don't know. It's either science or engineering. Oh, biochemistry. Miss Fairy Queen knows, apparently. I feel bad I didn't know that. So, trying to get rid of this scary knight. Knight at. Chicken's going to continue to put pressure. If Chicken ever stops attacking, then Grind will start attacking with like knight at b4. But I don't think Chicken will ever stop attacking. So I don't think we're going to hit the 100 game series because I think this is going to be their last game. Although in Bughouse, a lot of times people will say 1 more game and then play 100 more. So you don't know for sure. I think they're better at actually stopping when they say than I am, though. So the bishop was less scary than the pawn, which could have promoted. So that's why he traded that. But this looks pretty scary. Oh, yeah, pawn on either side would have made it. Pawn on the other side, then knight mate. Okay, Chicken and Katask are both saying GG's. I think the series is over. One more game if they win. Yeah, seems like something I would do. The final score is 49-35, favoring Chicken Katask. So let me see if any of the Bughouse streams are currently going. If so, maybe we can raid them. Let's see. Oh, Vampire Slayer is still playing. Let's give her a raid. So Vampire Slayer streams Bughouse. And she's playing Bughouse right now. Yeah, voice helps a lot for sure. Yeah, it started off very even, like 18-18, probably at the start of the stream here. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, everyone. Be sure to check out Vampire Slayer. She is streaming Bughouse right now, and she's streaming with a longtime friend of hers who is rusty, but she's getting him back in shape. I hope everyone has a great night. Thanks for watching.